Back on the MSG 150 at home, presented by Chase. Bill Pito along with Alan Hahn. And it's great to say hello to Brock Nelson, the Islanders, who joins us from just outside of Minneapolis. He's going to be back in the tri-state area on Monday. Brock, thanks so much for joining us. It's great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
So what are the challenges for you now to get back into hockey shape?
Well, it started off with just finding ice. Everything was closed up and shut down, so that was the biggest thing. So trying to stay in shape as best you can, riding bike, working out. Everybody has a different setup at home. Some guys have gyms and weights, some guys don't. So kind of just finding a way to get through it and make do with whatever you have. And then now that ice has opened up, kind of getting back into skating and getting that feel back and getting ready to play some games.
You have to imagine too, this is the sport that is so much different from the others that are trying to restart, because it takes skates and ice, and not a lot of that was available during most of the shutdown around the country. So for you guys, it's probably going to be a lot harder to get back into the swing of things and then jump right into what's going to be elimination games and playoff games. And how about for yourself too? You were in the midst of a great season, a career year. Is that going to be harder to step back in and get at that level right away, or the juice is just flowing, you're healthy, you feel good, and you're playing for something, which is a championship?
Yeah, it'll kind of be a feeling out once you get back. But, I mean, guys have had a little bit of time to kind of get their legs back and hopefully kind of gear up. Obviously, the intensity is going to be high right away, getting right into playoffs. So you kind of have to find a way to kick it into gear. You can't have any wait or delay. Best of five, anything can happen. So you got to come up ready to go. So it's kind of like the season it's been so long now that you've forgotten about it a little bit, but kind of like you can almost use it as a little bit of a reset mentally, where you got to step away from the game, not by choice. You just kind of like you're just forced into it. So everybody's in the same boat. So that kind of eased some of the nerves, I think, in the anxiety of maybe being away for so long. So it's just such a unique time that you just have to remind yourself everybody's going through the same thing.
You guys are set to start training camp on July 10th. Any concerns as everyone's going to get together now for the first time in a long time, obviously given what's going on with COVID-19?
Yeah, I think it's just everybody's got to be, smart and conscious of everything going on and taking care of themselves when you are away from the rink, and especially now as you're trying to get back into it. So it'll be fun to see all the guys. You haven't seen them for so long. I think all the protocols will be put in place to keep everyone safe. Testing now, I think, has ramped up. So we're hoping for everything to go smoothly and wish everyone stay healthy and we can keep this thing on track.
We had your coach, Barry Trotz, on a couple of weeks ago, and one of the things that he said was you need the team that has the most mental toughness will probably be the one to endure here, right? It's not as much as the skill on the ice as it is just understanding this is going to be very different, playing in a bubble situation in the cities that the NHL has chosen. So when you think about what you're going to be entering, it's going to be a lot different, of course, without fans and not in your own building, no real home ice advantage. Do you feel like that's what it's going to be? It's going to be about which team has the mental edge?
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of factors that are kind of getting taken away. Unfortunately, the atmosphere and the travel and all the different things that kind of go into the playoffs and the home ice, like you said, is kind of just out the window. So now it's just in simplicity, like it's just worry about your game and playing at a high level and kind of if it doesn't go your way right away, you got to let it go and kind of get right back in the saddle. Like I said, you don't have any time to kind of find it. You gotta get there in a hurry.
Brock, what do you think it's going to be like playing with no fans?
It'll be different. Yeah, it'll be. I don't know what to expect, but I think anytime you get a group of guys, especially in the hockey world, things get intense. Even in summer skates, you can see things start to heat up once it gets closer to game time. And knowing that we're all going right back into playoffs, I think it's going to it'll be heated. So I think you'll get some good hockey, but it'll just be a little different look to it.
Well, you said it. It's been such a long time since the stoppage of the season that it almost feels like that was a past season. That was last season. So as we talk about matchups and your matchup with the Florida Panthers, during the season, your team had great success against them. But do you feel like all that stuff goes out the window now because it's been so long since the regular season?
For sure, yeah. I don't think you can use that as an advantage or disadvantage. I think everybody now is going in with the opportunity and the mindset that they have a chance, and they're given a shot. So I think up and down, if you're the 1 seed through the 12 seed, everybody's got that same belief that they can kind of make a run, and especially in a time like this where you go into a best of 5 and anything can happen. You get a hot goal right away. You can kind of run away with that and feed off that. And the team that's able to get that and use that to their advantage mentally, I think, is going to have quite a big gap, I think, in terms of advantages.
Brock, you guys could end up, if it goes well, with an extended time in the bubble. What are some of the challenges that might come with that?
Yeah, I think that'll all be so different too. That kind of be a feeling out process. I'm sure guys will pack Xboxes and whatever they can to kind of bide some time in the hotel and keep busy. And we'll probably have a couple pretty good gamers coming out of this thing. So spending time away from the family, I think, will be tough. Getting into a routine of somehow kind of keep in touch. Guys with kids, I know it's going to be tough not seeing 2 kids here for a while. So I think just finding a balance and trying not to get too high or too low throughout that time. Obviously, you want to win, but you also want to be with your family. So there's definitely a healthy balance.
And you're seeing it with athletes, as they're talking about returning to the game, returning to sport, and there's some hesitation. You're seeing it in all the different sports, not just in one, about leaving, like you just mentioned, going into that situation, a sacrifice of being away from family because you have to. With all that in mind, though, somebody that's a sports fan watching, knowing where we are right now, just in the world, like needing that distraction, needing something that we can all kind of watch and get back into some feeling of normalcy. As an athlete, do you feel like, yeah, I want to win a Stanley Cup. Like, I'm coming back here because I want to win a cup. I want to play in the playoffs. But is there also a party that feels like what we're doing is also important in a way to society and getting people to feel a little bit more of a sense of a normalcy?
Yeah, I think with the shutdown, I think that's one thing I've said it to my wife and a couple other people, that it kind of opens your eyes as an athlete. You're obviously so laser focused in on your game and wanting to do well for yourself that you don't see the bigger picture of sports and what it means to everyone around the country and the world. That you see why everybody's so passionate now. Like they can kind of use that as motivation and something to kind of look forward through the day, the week, follow a team, follow a person, whatever it may be, whatever athlete it is. It goes beyond just what you do as like a job. So it'll be fun to kind of get back for that as well. I know that you're playing for something bigger and in an area for us, like on the island, having the community behind us. So it definitely makes you take a step back and kind of appreciate what you do. And like I said, you just play for a little bit more.
So Brock, your uncle is Dave Christian. He was on the 1980 men's Olympic hockey team that shocked the world, beat the Russians, of course, and went on to capture the gold. How much of an impact has he had on your career?
Yeah, looking back, when you're younger, he's kind of just the uncle. You just looked at him as an uncle. It didn't really see the importance of everything that kind of went on. And then as you start to get involved a little bit more in the game and grow up, you start to see all the accolades that he has: the gold medal, 1,000 games in the NHL, scored 300 plus goals in the NHL. So definitely a role model for me that looking up, there was never any pressure from him or family and whatnot. It was just always kind of a helping hand. I kind of leaned on him when I was deciding whether or not to turn pro or stay in college. He had gone through a similar experience, so he kind of helped me through that one. So I think if anything, just having that and knowing that he's there for you, willing to put in any input as needed, and obviously a pretty good role model to follow.
Some good genes in the family, that is for sure. Hey, Brock, thanks so much for your time. Best to you and the Islanders as you guys get rolling.
Thank you very much.
All right, up next on the MSG 150 at Home, presented by Chase, we will go down memory lane with John Wallace on his Garden debut as a Knick, and we'll do that right after this.